Okay. Are we live yet? Are we
I'm
still
alive.
live? You're
I'm
live?
still
Barely.
alive. Barely alive, man.
Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Dying Old Bastards. Last time we were on, it was Kevin was sick. Now it's me. What
Yeah,
the
must
fuck,
have
man?
gave it
Just because
through
we're
you
old
all.
doesn't mean we have to be sick all the time.
Yeah, maybe I gave it through you through the riverside. It just right through the internet. Internet colds.
Oh
Internet
man,
virus.
this
Internet has viruses. Internet has viruses.
yeah,
Maybe.
tech
That's
is
it.
going too far if it can do that, man. Oh,
No,
anyway.
it'd be terrible if you can catch an internet virus and get a sore throat from it.
Hey,
That'd
we
be
got
bad.
a kid here somewhere. Was it in BC? Somewhere in Canada, some kid got chicken flu or bird flu the other day.
Yeah.
So you can get disease from animals. Why can't you get it from your computer?
Yeah, well, that's actually happened a bit, but not that often. I mean, there is a certain amount of transmission between animals. I mean, the bird flu, Hong Kong flu, all that stuff. Yeah. But speaking of flying,
Oh
something like
yeah,
that, I have
fluid. Yeah.
we're heading down to Mexico pretty soon. Well, maybe in about a month or so, month and a half, something like that. So I understand you get the flu, so don't bring it to Mexico, or you get the Mexican flu. You give the Mexican some flu and be called the Mexican flu. No. But
No, it's okay. Remember the last time we went down there, you arrive at the airport and they let you gargle with tequila when you get off the plane.
yeah,
So
that's true. They
that's how they
disinfect you
keep
real
that's how they
fast.
keep the country safe. Yep.
Exactly, lime
Yeah.
and tequila
Keeps everyone
disinfection.
safe. Yeah.
But do you have something over there to medicinal? I mean, last time I was up here, I had the flu and I had a sore throat too. Exactly, and I took brandy and honey. Add a little whiskey in it too, probably.
Yeah.
But it kicked it out. It was
When I
done.
get home, I'll have a little something. I'm actually
Yeah.
just still at my store. Just
Oh
closed the
yeah.
store for the day, so I'm just still here.
Oh
And it's in the good old days. I would have a drawer full of stuff, that
yeah. Right below the
medicinal
cash
purposes,
register.
right below the cash register.
Yeah.
Used to do, yeah, but no, I didn't used to do it. Any police listening never used to do that. But no, nothing. I got nothing, man.
You didn't get caught.
I got
It's
nothing
only
except a sore throat.
illegal if you get caught. And it's medicinal. Don't forget
Mm.
it. Alcohol is medicinal. No problems. Cleans all those
Yeah, but like
nasty
I was telling you
germs.
just before we got on air,
Yeah.
it's so strict these days, man, that even if a guy drives by on the street, he's got a case of beer in the trunk of his car, just the fumes from that unopened case, if it wafts through the window, lands on your sleeve, and they sniff you, you can get busted for that, I'm sure.
That's terrible, man. Canada's going downhill.
I'm not sure.
That's the good old days.
No, we're going uphill both ways in the snow.
Yeah. I heard you went uphill and ended up getting a traffic ticket for almost getting a traffic arrested for your pedaling while while under the influence or some shit like that, even though you didn't have very much.
Yeah.
I mean, if you pedal uphill, by the time you get up there, you're pretty much sober.
Yeah, I was going to say I can't say I didn't have very much, but I can say I was trying to be responsible
There you go.
and not drive a car. So
Yeah.
but
for
anyway,
me,
never mind that crap. But we're going to Mexico.
yep. Guess what? Speaking of Mexico, here we are.
Tecate?
Tea for Tecate. Yeah. And of course, we have the Beer Hunters koozie to go with it.
Yep.
The only thing, everybody should get one of these. They're great. Some of the best ones you can find. Neoprene, everything. Really nice. Keeps your beer cold, your hands warm. Mmm.
Yeah, you
Damn
got that
good.
right. I was going to say it sounded backwards. Oh, yeah.
No,
Shut up.
No. Beer cold, hands warm. Yeah, well, oh man, you sound like you definitely need a brandy, man.
Yeah, I think I
Brandy and honey.
I have the technology.
Brandy and honey.
I have the technology.
Excellent.
The technology.
So,
but we're talking about going to Mexico. We're talking about airlines, and we started talking about taxes. We were going to talk about taxes. We started talking about airlines, and then we realized they're the same thing.
Yeah.
Talking about taxes, talking about airlines, almost the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. They kind of hide it from you, though. They don't want you to see in the price, but the price is like so much money, and a lot of that is taxes, according to the bills. If you ever really look at the detailed airfare charges, it's amazing. And Alan, you're great at searching for the cheapest damn deal you can get, even if you have to pedal or fly the plane yourself or carry your bags on or serve your own
Yeah,
food.
yeah, yeah. I serve everyone else food. That's just
Exactly.
like, yeah. And with the food I brought, I'm serving them. It's like, yeah. No,
Shared
it's yeah. So
potluck.
I booked myself. Yeah, booked a flight down to Puerto Vallarta, and I booked it on a discount airline, right?
Mm.
And it's I wonder, it's the same. It's the same everywhere I've been. You get here's your ticket price, and as you said, when you look into it, it's like so many taxes and fees that are just like nuts. Like this particular one, the ticket price itself round trip was about 184 Canadian dollars, which is about $3 US. But the total ticket price was around 600. And you look at it, most of that was airport fees, like Puerto Vallarta airport fee, the Mexico tourist tax, the fuel surcharge, the this, the that. And on this flight, we're staying basically 5 minutes walking from the Walmart store. So I did. He's right. I did the math on this. It's cheaper for me. I'm not even bringing a carry-on bag.
Just
I am going to
fire.
go buy my underwear at Walmart. With just 5 minutes. So I'm going in with like nothing, just as
Oh,
you see me. That's how I'm showing up at the airport. Just me and a passport. That's it.
oh shit, man.
But
That's
what's
true.
funny about that, what's weird, is if I was that airline, I would be saying, hey, because
Mm.
a lot of these fees are they feel like they're hidden, right? The fuel surcharge and
Yeah,
well, you get like the baggage fees and things like that.
yeah,
They don't
yeah.
want to talk about it till you're
Right.
booking because it adds a shit ton, right? But if I was the airline, I think I would say, hey, our price is 18 cents or whatever it is. It's 184 bucks. But the reason you have to pay 600 is all these fucking taxes. And I would make it clear as
Mm.
fuck. It's not us. Look how cheap we are.
Mm.
We're not the guys charging you the Mexico tourist tax. We're not the guys charging the airport fee. We're not.
Yeah.
We're just screwing you on the baggage and the food. But that's
Yeah.
everything else is someone else doing the screwing.
Yeah.
So I wonder why airlines don't make that much more like, hey guys, hey, we're dirt ass cheap. It costs money because these other things, not us.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. I'm in I just pulled up one of my receipts when I flew between KL and Bangkok. I was supposed to fly direct to Laos, but for some reason they made me fly through Bangkok, which I do, but normally not a fly through. So I had to fly one sector KL Bangkok and then a second sector Bangkok to Vientiane. Now here's the actual bill. Okay. Actually, you know what it costs to fly Malaysia to Bangkok? It's a 2 hour flight and it cost me only $41. Okay, not too bad. $41.54.
US
US. This is
USD.
US. USD. But taxes, surcharges, and all that was again $40. So it's basically the exact same price as the fare. And that mostly is things like fuel surcharge. Fuel surcharge was like 24 bucks. Passenger service charge. What the hell's that? It's $12. And then,
Oh, you got
yeah,
serviced on the flight in Bangkok. Hey, how much you charge
uh,
for that?
uh,
That's
that would be cheap. No, actually, that's about normal price in Bangkok for service fees. That's not that far off, but not that kind of service. That's the problem. I didn't get that kind of service on flight.
uh, uh,
Not at all. I don't know what service I got because I had to pay for food. Paying for food is separate. Okay. Okay. There's another levy from Malaysia. If I depart Malaysia, they want $2. Okay. Regulatory service charge another dollar. It's actually 25 cents for something. Uh, international arrival and departure fees for Thailand. 50 cents. Okay. Thailand doesn't mind you coming in. It's only 50 cents. It's no big deal. But the add-ons, because Air Asia is a good airline, but everything they charge you for, except for going to the toilet, other than that, they charge you for every damn thing. To select a seat, but this is a standard one. Normally, I usually select a little higher one, but this standard one is about $4. But checked baggage. 20 kg, 31 bucks. So again, it's very close to the actual fare is 41. My bag, which is 20 kg, I'm a little bit more than 20 kg. Mine's 41. That was 31 bucks, right? Baggage delay, I didn't even book for that, but that was $1, no big deal. And plant and one food, $3 US for food, nasi lemak. So the whole thing came up to about 120 bucks, $121. So, but the fare was 40 plus some food was and baggage and all that. The food wasn't much, $3. So 3 times that was basically baggage and all the fees and services and all that other stuff. So the 120 bucks, about 40, 45 bucks is actual fees and food, service fees and food. The rest is just taxes and baggage and shit like that. So it is surprisingly that the actual fares can be low, but the real cost you have to pay is a hell of a lot higher. So I mean, but
Well,
that's the way it
in
is.
Canada, we don't have much of a history of discount airlines yet. We had a few come through, but it's not been like not a big part of the market yet. So people here are not used to it, right? So you go like on AirAsia,
Yeah.
on Ryan Airlines, on
Same.
EasyJet, you're paying for everything.
Yep.
But you pay for everything, but it's up to you to do the math. And is it at the end of the day, when you add it all up, what's it going to cost you compared to a full service airline? Is the savings big enough that you know what it's like on a discount airline? You know, it's not an exciting experience, but it's like a bus. It gets you there, right?
Yeah.
But
That's true.
when I was booking on this airline, it's an airline that's a discount airline here, and it's been in the news a lot because it's been going bankrupt since like 2 days after it started 3 years ago.
Okay.
So it's always, all the other airlines are always saying, look at that, blah blah blah, I can't do that. It's a hot mess, but it's still around, right? And the scheduling time and the price were what I wanted to do, and I figured, okay, like I said, I'm gonna go to Walmart and buy some underwear, so I don't need to have my check-on bags, which cost more than the tickets. So doing all of that, but I was reading the comments, right?
Yeah.
And I tell you, as a business owner that public-facing business, I have a retail store, the record shop here. I mean, we've worked really hard to get our 5-star reviews, and we have hundreds of 5-star reviews, but we have 1 or 2 just outliers where we've had like comments from people who haven't even been to the store, right? They just talk shit about you. It's just some people are just like that, right?
Yeah.
But so I know that you have to be careful when you read comments because they're not always really accurately reflect what's going on. But this airline, man, out of the 5 stars available, I think they were about minus 73. People were like trying so hard to say, I wish I could do less than 0. I wish I could. And they're just like freaking right out. I'm reading, oh shit, should I even be looking at this? But I read a few of them and I realized, no, you guys just don't yet understand what a discount airline is. You don't understand. Most of the screaming was about, I got to the airport and they wanted to charge me $75 to bring out my fucking hand carry bag.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, well, during the checkout process online, that is so clear. You have to click no about 8 times before it'll let you not buy. I know, I just did. I had to click 8 times. I don't want a bag. No bag. No fucking bag. Okay. So I had to, and it says, if you click this button, if you're not taking a bag, you know you're being stupid. And if you go to the airport, it's going to cost you 7 times more. So that. And they basically on their website basically say, don't buy a ticket. Don't fly with us. Don't do it. Don't do it. They say it so many times. So it's clear. But people get to the airport and it's like, okay, I want to check in my bag. Okay, it's $75 for a hand carry and it's $100 for a check-in. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, dude, you're flying. It's a 5-hour flight. And you're paying $180 round trip for a 5-hour flight.
Oh yeah, that's good.
And the full service airlines are like $900. Something's gonna have to be a little different, you would think, right? Something's a little different.
For sure.
So it's not tricky when it's explained to you up front.
Yeah.
very clearly,
Mm.
then they're not being tricky.
Yeah.
Now, if they were hiding it and you weren't sure what's going on and shit, okay, yeah. But they're not. They're trying very hard to get you to buy it online before you get to the airport.
Mm.
When they tell you this, that it'll cost you not quite twice as much, but almost twice as much at the airport. So
Yeah.
if you don't think you want a bag, reconsider. And they say if you go like use the check-in service at the airport, they're going to charge you $35. It's a check and do it online. Do it online. No people involved. We don't have to pay the people. Means we don't have to charge you for the people. Blah 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 blah.
Mm. True.
And if you're flying a discount airline, all you're hoping for is the seat you can fit into it. And when the airplane lands, you can get out of it at the other end. Beyond that,
Pretty much.
it's not going to be a pleasant experience for the most part, but that's on you. You've decided that that's when you want to pay. I know this is not going to be the most fun part of my trip, is this 5-hour flight.
Yeah.
But I did the math on it. And sometime the full service airlines, the price difference is so small when you add up everything you're going to use, it makes more sense, right? So if I had check bag and a carry bag and I had this other stuff, I probably would have gone with one of the other airlines.
Yeah.
But I'm traveling. We'll go down there. My son and daughter-in-law are going too. They've got a big check bag, so I'll have one piece of underwear in there for emergencies. You know,
you can always throw some stuff in
we
there.
did all the math on it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah,
so it's like so when I saw these people freaking out about it.
Yeah, it's mostly about prices. The surprises like that. That's very common. And then AirAsia was very strict about this. They only give you 7 kg and they'd weigh it. And say, oh, no, 8 kg. You have to go back. And it's like, shit. so yeah, I'm a seasoned traveler. So I always know to bring an extra bag. So I just take out a little bit. So I have one carry-on, another little bag and stuff extra. So you put that heavy stuff. And then after you go through the check, then you just dump everything in and you're through. So you can get around some of that stuff if you know what you're doing and how to do it, but you have to be prepared. Okay, and yes, you're paying for what you get. Okay, if you're paying $100 for a 5-hour flight return, you're not going to get television. You're not going to get much of anything. You're not going to get food. You better go to McDonald's on the way or whatever and buy some something over there or Subways or whatever. Tim Hortons.
And one thing to keep in mind too, when you get to the airport and you find these shocks, what is the point of getting mad and screaming at the person behind the counter?
Yeah, they're pretty
stuck. That person behind the counter is not the one who made the rules. They're not the ones that. I mean, just common courtesy.
Can usually, if you
express your displeasure.
Yeah, but if you have a certain weight limit, usually they'll give you a little bit of leeway and stuff. If you're good or whatever, friendly to them and stuff. If it's like 10 kg, you can get maybe 12 in, no problem. But you can't come up with 25 kg and your limit is 10. I mean, you can't do that shit either. I mean, there are limits to that. But no, I mean, you get what you pay for in most cases, not all the cases, Like AirAsia is actually a good airline, but you got to know it, and you got to expect what you're going to get. Same with what's yours that you're taking down here?
I'm flying on Flair Airlines.
Flair, I've never heard of Flair. Never.
Either has anybody else.
Even Flair doesn't know they have an airline.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and people who complain about it, it's also one thing that you keep in mind too, is the service is not great, all these things, but they're as safe as anyone else. They follow all the same Canadian airline rules and the maintenance and everything. So there's that. And even if you don't want to fly on these guys and you don't like the experience, you should be happy they exist because they are the only competition that's happening that's helping keep the prices from spiraling totally out of control.
Yeah. I mean,
because if you didn't have little guys, we had Swoop was another big discount airline we had, but it was owned by WestJet.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was discount, but it was not a huge discount. But on some little it was more. Not a discount airline, but it was their version of with the menu. You can pick and choose, right? So, if you want to save money, don't have a check bag.
Mm.
Whereas on the main airline, it was like, no, it's like your ticket includes it, whether you're using
Yeah.
it or not.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason it was cheaper, because you could choose to not
Yeah.
take some
That's the whole
services like
idea of
that.
the whole idea of a discount airline is to pick and choose what you need. If you don't need a bag, it's
Yeah,
cheaper. But if you
right.
do,
But
hell, they triple charge you. It's like, damn it. It's like,
yeah, well then so WestJet actually reabsorbed Swoop and shut it down. And then they
mm.
started doing the menu style on WestJet too. So I think it was maybe someone clever just spent a few years letting the public get angry at this new airline called Swoop, not mad at WestJet, not realizing they're the owners. And then when people started to get used to it, it was like, okay, now we can do it on our own. Okay, now it's the same. I don't
Could be, I don't know.
know.
But a lot of it also depends. So as somebody who flies, I mean, you want the convenience of the timing of the flight, right? You don't want to land in at 2 o'clock in the morning and you have a taxi and you're in the you know, in the airport that's like basically you're the last flight, and the taxi fares all of a sudden double charge you because it's after midnight. Taxi fares go up, so instead paying $10 for a taxi, you're paying 20 or $25 for a taxi. You might have three guys hanging around the airport, and you got 40 people waiting for a
Yeah.
taxi. There's all kinds of crazy shit you got to be careful with. So
The
convenience is a big
only the
issue.
only thing yeah, the only thing that I have this complaint about Flair Airlines so far is that it's I have not been able to book my seat. That's on all
Mm,
discount airlines. That's the only extra thing that I usually will pay. Not enjoying paying it, but I pay to get
mm.
a seat. Just to There's
Yeah, so
already not wonderful seats, so I don't want to get the
Yeah,
middle seat. So I want to get
yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And on this one, I was not
Especially for
able to
five
book my
hours.
seat yet. There's
Yeah, for 5 hours. Sometimes when you check in,
yeah.
you can get that done. Usually they're pretty good about that. But no, but one time we were flying. George and I were flying from Malaysia back to Vientiane, and he had a fly through. And I don't know if, no, I didn't have a fly through. I had to go through the Bangkok thing and pick the next setup, which means I had to pay baggage twice. Was KL Bangkok and then Bangkok again to Vientiane. So I had to pay twice. It's like some bitch. I mean, I get reimbursed for it, so it's not a big deal. But George, he got in there and it wouldn't let him through. So he had to go through a separate line because for some reason he was okay. He checked himself in, no problem. But his bag, he wouldn't check it through. So he had to go through a different line. And we're waiting in line. I'm standing there with him and waiting and waiting. And they're calling for somebody. They didn't call the flight, his flight. By the time he finally got up to the thing, oh, no problem for you to get up, but your bag can't go. What? What the hell kind of shit is that? Oh no, you're too late by 5 minutes. I said you never freaking called. We're standing right here in the damn line. You never called. And I was so pissed. I was furious at that stupid air. I really scolded the hell out of him. I said, we're here. We're like right in the line, right? 5 people behind, and all you had to do is call, make sure. And then, oh no, we called earlier. No, you didn't. You called Bangkok. Yeah, but we're not flying to Bangkok. We're flying to Dongguan. It's two different airports in Bangkok. So if you call Bangkok, that's the wrong airport. It's BKK. We're going to DMK. It's a different airport. And they didn't call that. And I scolded the shit out of him, but still couldn't do anything. Oh, sorry, I can't do anything. It was like, what the hell? It's just a bag. George is okay because he checked in the machine, right? Because he got the machine. He got checked in. His bag's ticketed. He got a ticket for the bag. But they wouldn't accept it. It's already tickets already there. We ticketed him and the bag, but they still wouldn't accept the bag. So 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 I ended up having to rebook another flight. Thai Airways about 2-3 hours later, sitting in the airport, and then flying through Bangkok because they didn't fly through Dangwon, and then back uh, to Vientiane, all because of stupid bag. And I couldn't bring it. Nobody could do anything. You're just stuck. You're in I think we were over there for
Yeah.
like 3 weeks, a month. Yeah,
And
stupid.
there's things that, as you know, you travel and fly all the time, so sometimes you just gotta like grin and bear it. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
used to fly quite a lot into Brazil through
Mm,
Sao Paulo. I'd
yeah.
fly from wherever I was. I would fly then
Mm,
into Miami, and from Miami to Sao
yeah.
Paulo, and Sao Paulo connect on to where I was going into Curitiba or whatever. Right? Sometimes stay
Yeah.
in Sao Paulo, but 100% of the time my bag would not make it. And I've
Yeah.
knock on wood, I've had success very few times,
Yeah.
considering how many places I've been and how
Yeah.
complicated the whole
Yeah.
system is. It's amazing things work as well as they do. But that one route every single time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every single time.
But you got to watch out too. I mean, especially when you do a discount. I mean, we were doing was American Airlines, a direct flight, no problem. Couple hours down, hour and a half or something. You're down in Puerto Vallarta from Phoenix. Easy, easy peasy. Still not so cheap though, and you can get a carry-on bag, but you cannot check-in a bag. A check-in bag's an extra $100 or some shit. So we don't need a check-in bag and carry-on's okay. And
yeah, we're near Walmart.
yeah, plus we're by Walmart, so no problem. So anyway, so we do that, no big deal. But coming back, we're looking at, look at this. Oh, here's a cheap one. 17-hour flight. What? It's like, what do you mean? It's like 2 hours. Let's not 2 hours. What do you mean 17 hours? It's like going through here, here, here. It's like, what the hell? How do you, I might as well take a bus, you know?
Yeah.
So
why do they even show that option?
exactly.
Right? It's like,
That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I did one time, a long time ago, also, I did the same thing. But then I had a travel agent always booking my flights for me all the time because I never knew when I wanted to go somewhere. So I just call up and say, give me this flight. Okay. And usually flying between like Sabah, Sarawak, and all that. Next thing I know, one time, okay, they got this flight. Okay, it's only leaves in because I was going to the airport. What do you got for me? What do you got? Okay, I got this flight. You can go. Okay, jump on it. Next thing I know, I'm flying from KK to Labuan to Miri to something else to like Johor and then back to KL. It's like 4 freaking stops. It's like, I said, you never freaking give me that milk run again. It's like, holy shit. It took me like, it's supposed to take 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It took me like 8 hours to get back. It's like, what the hell are you doing? No, you got to be careful on those. Those are funny though. But yeah, or else they'll ship you around. But sometimes I don't understand that part. They'll ship you around to like 3 or 4 different airports, and the flight takes much longer, but it's still cheaper. How the hell they do that versus direct flight? Why would they send you to 3 different airports, 6 hours or 7 more hours than needed, yet the price is cheaper? What the hell does that mean? I don't understand how the economics of that works.
Well, I mean, there's like something. Have you ever heard of skip lagging?
Nope.
Skip lagging?
No, I have the.
So it's basically
jet lag.
It's a niche.
I'm still on
that's
that.
where the term actually comes from.
Really?
That's where the term actually comes from, based kind of a play on that. So if you're a cheap enough bastard,
yeah, we are. That's
us.
us.
There's a niche. Yeah,
we haven't got
there's
sponsored
a niche
yet.
It's called. Yeah. So it's called skip lane. What it basically is airlines will sometime have, like if you're going to fly from point A to point B, they cost a certain amount of money. But if you go from point A to point B, then B to C, it's cheaper. It happens sometime. It used to happen a lot. From when I used to fly from Vancouver through to Kuala Lumpur quite a lot on EVA, the Taiwanese airline, right?
Yeah, go through Taipei.
And it was funny. You would look at it, and the Vancouver to Taipei cost more than Vancouver to Taipei and then Taipei to KL included. It was actually cheaper to go all the way to Malaysia than it was to stop, right? So airlines, there are a lot of different reasons that can happen. It can be because they're really complex. You can go down the rabbit hole really deep. But skip lagging is basically where you figure that out and, okay, but I'm only going to Taipei this time. But you buy the ticket to Kuala Lumpur, and when it lands in Taipei, you just fuck off. Right? Now, it's complicated. If you only have hand baggage, it's easy to do. If you have check bags, you have to then get a layover, right? So sometimes the layover. So you can stay 2 days in Taipei, then catch your flight. For an extra few dollars, they'll let you do the layover. Right? So you talk about complicated math. You got to sort all that shit out. But that is another way to save money. Airlines fucking hate that because it fucks them up, right? It's like,
you
now,
lay over
hey,
and
we're waiting for this guy. We're calling. Hey, Mr. Allen, your flight to KL, where the fuck are you, man? I'm in a bus. That's where I am.
exactly.
And they hate
That's
it.
true.
Screws them up a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
And that's why, so they actually, they say it's unethical, and sometime the airlines will scold you. So if you try that again, we're not going to let you fly an airline anymore. But and you're like, what? How's it unethical? You're trying to charge more money for a shorter flight, and I'm the bad guy. Hang on.
Exactly. That's a good point. That's a good point.
And besides, I paid the full price for that whole ticket. I didn't screw you guys. I didn't unpay. It's like, but I mean, you can.
That's true.
I much prefer now that I don't travel on business as much. And when you travel on business, usually it depends. If you're working for some other company, you don't give a shit. Last minute flight, someone books you go. When it's your own business, you tend to really dig around a lot.
Exactly.
Like save some money on it.
Exactly.
And so I now, instead of trying to do all this, the skip lagging and this and the layover and the open jaw and all these things, I prefer slower travel now, where it'll be, okay, I'm going somewhere. Let me look around. Okay, here's the best deal for getting to that place on this day. Okay. So I'll look at that. Then I'll see, can I book a place? And then I put those together, and then I just I do that. And then I worry about the next leg later, just trying not to stress out so much about it. Because sometimes I'm bad for that when I'm looking for a deal. I'll get in there and I'll just like, I'll look at what the fuck? I've been doing this for like 7 fucking hours, man. How much money did I save? It better be a lot of money. Otherwise, no, I saved $100. Oh, so I paid myself like $1.80 an hour for doing this extra travel agent work. So
that's true.
You can go too far.
Plus, and plus you got to compare this and that and the travel time, and if you have to stay over in a hotel, and because that's the other thing. Like if I fly down, I think I have to fly down. My flight's 11 something to meet you guys in there. I think we'll be spend the night in Phoenix, which means we're paying a hotel bill, and that's another $100 just for the hotel, just to get there early, so we don't have to go at 4:00 in the morning or something like that. So there's all these things that you got to factor in, and even hotels, the same thing. They charge you fees and taxes and stuff too, and even I used to hate the idea that I would have to be in Malaysia paid tourist tax, even though I've been working there for 20 years, and I'm not a resident, but I'm a long-term pass holder, been resident, but not the official Malaysian permanent resident or whatever the hell. I don't have that. So bam, I get a tourist tax. It's like, shit, you bastards. It's like, okay.
Well, the one that recently roasted my shorts the most was on our last trip to Vegas. The resort fee. We stayed at the Stratosphere, right?
Yeah.
So
those
yes,
are
we knew up front. That's not I'm not saying anything of that.
Yeah.
All we know, there's a resort fee.
Yeah.
And they tell you how much it is, and you got to pay it. But what roasted my shorts is, for what? We get there, the fucking pool was even closed. I wasn't going to use the pool, but okay, the resort fee, I'm paying for the pool. The pool was closed. What the hell, man? My resort fee is like, I'm going down using the machines. You mean you're charging me $40 to be able to give you money in your fucking slot machines? Like, what's the resort fee
that's
for?
True. That's true. Some of them, and they're not all the same. It's always up to like something like $45 or something, $50 for a resort fee, but some are like $15, some are like $20. It's not all the same. So it's not standardized thing. So it's up to the casinos and stuff what they want to charge, and against the facilities they have.
That bothers me.
Yeah.
So the discount airlines, where you can choose bag, no bag, bigger bag, check bag, whatever. You choose, you pay. Okay. But the resort fee, you don't have the option.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, wait a minute, but your hotel, you've built the stuff into the hotel. So if I don't want to use it, I'm paying for it anyway. You
Yeah.
might as well just build it into the price of the staying there.
Well,
Why separate that one out?
yeah, they're
If it's not an option to not have it, why would
yeah.
you have it
I
separate?
think the one that pissed me off the worst is that the resort fee doesn't include parking. Sometimes they give you a resort fee and you have to pay parking on top of that. That pisses me off. Okay, if you're going to charge me a resort fee, then do not charge parking. That's bullshit. I mean, there are people that don't park anyway. But if I'm going to drive up there, don't freaking charge me resort plus parking. That's bullshit. So I get pissed at that one. And it's just yeah, that's Vegas. Okay, you got to win your money back at the slots, right? Which I'm not
And
too good at.
they still have not sent us a check for when we develop that new
Well,
wing
that's right.
sauce for them.
That's right. That's right. We're supposed to get 3% commission.
Mm.
I wonder. Not that famous yet. Maybe when we do a Wise Old Bastard podcast there, and we invent
Yeah,
some wing sauce again. That was good damn sauce. That was damn good sauce.
that was good.
But
That
yeah,
was good.
yeah. Uh, so we're heading down to Mexico early January. So, and we're going to do some more beer hunting. Beer hunting's good. And maybe we do some tequila hunting too. Actually, Rodolfo's going down just to set up his tequila thing, just to check out tequila. And I think he's going down the next 2 weeks uh, for tequila because his university and stuff are looking at doing some research with agaves, and which may be looking at potentially looking at how to do localized uh, localized tequila manufacturing in Arizona based on some of the research they're doing in Mexico. So that sounds very interesting. So I
Where's he
think that would be
heading
good.
to?
You know, some of the areas around, I guess, Jalisco areas and stuff like that, those areas. So that should be interesting. So I asked him to bring back some samples, a few gallons,
A few
but
gallons? Yeah.
a few gallons of samples. We got to, I mean, got to really test it, right? No,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
get some mezcal. I mean, we were looking at that before, and you did some research on that mezcal, especially mezcal. That's good stuff. Although my kids had a
On
party
this,
here when I
your
was
kids had a party
in
here?
yeah, when I was coming. Well, I was
Yeah.
still in Malaysia, and I heard my other son called me. My kid's having a party with his friends. It's like, oh shit, we're gonna drink a little bit. Maybe just make sure nobody drives back drunk. Okay, I don't care if they get drunk, they sleep in my place, no problem. Just no drinking, driving. Try not to get drunk. But a few of them did and stuff. And then they opened up one bottle and said, "Ooh, there's a worm in here. Why is there a worm in here? What are we supposed to do with this worm?" Of course, that's mezcal
Oh,
and
they
the
opened one of
gusano.
your bottles?
It must be, I guess. I don't know. Normally they had their own
Ooh.
had their own stuff, but I'm sure they took a bit of mine. But they found the gusano and the mezcal and didn't know what the hell to do with it. So, so anyway, I guess they had fun. But I don't know which one where the kids ate it, but I guess they tried it. But yeah,
Yeah.
but taxes. Taxes on booze. There's always taxes, right? Taxes on everything. There's taxes on you guys must pay a lot in taxes on beer and whiskey because your Canadian whiskey is cheaper in USA than it is in Canada. So there's got to be a tax on it somewhere that you guys are paying that we're not. Because I can get your whiskey a
Yeah.
hell of a lot cheaper over here than you can. That sucks.
Yeah. It's actually, it's,
Time for a new government.
yeah. Well, it's been like that like forever though.
Yeah.
It's not the current government. Every government does that. It's an
What?
easy target. Canadians drink a lot, so it's an easy way to make money. That's
It's
what they
terrible
do.
though.
Yeah.
And then they want to throw you in jail if you're just sniffing a beer. Give you a
Yeah.
ticket. That's terrible. How that doesn't make sense. They want you to drink, but at the same time they said you drink, you go potentially go to jail. What kind of bullshit is that? That's terrible.
No, it's yeah, but I mean, it's how do you even say it's there's no matter what I say about this, anyone listening, someone's going to take it the wrong way. But
We don't give a shit.
I
That's all right.
I
Remember, we're
used to
bastards.
in 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 certain unnamed countries,
Mm.
I used to drink a lot for work, right?
Yeah, you have
And I
to.
was with my
Business.
customers all the time, and we drank a lot. And yes, I had drivers, but
Yeah, you had drivers.
drivers
So.
couldn't always keep up. I had two drivers because we need that much moving around and that much hours in the day.
Yeah,
But there were
true.
still times when just no drivers available. It's like, no, sorry, boss, we got to sleep at least 1 hour a month. It's like whatever. Yeah. So
But
used
yeah,
to drive or like
yeah,
go visit you guys. You get used to it, right? So the
yeah,
thing
yeah,
is,
yeah.
I don't know. This is where most horrible accidents end up happening is from people who have been drinking and driving for years and are quite good
Mm,
at it and get confident at it, and then
mm.
something goes wrong and
Somehow,
then
yeah,
something horrible happens, right?
yeah, for sure.
So I totally get it. I no
Mm,
longer
yeah,
it was never me. I'm talking about someone else, but I no longer drink and drive.
yeah,
Yeah, I never did. It was someone else, but
yeah.
um,
Of course, we
so
don't
I mean,
drink. We never get drunk and drive. That's terrible.
but
Wrong.
where I'm a little fuzzy about it, a little concerned is what the limits are, right? So the limits
Exactly.
are it's basically in most places now around the planet where there used to be no limits in some, it works out to basically like one drink puts you right at the edge.
That's terrible.
So two drinks, you're over the edge.
Mm,
And I don't know what to say. I mean,
mm,
I guess if you don't drink very often, two drinks might actually impair you. You're just not used to it. But if you have like 2 or 3 drinks a day every single day,
yeah,
I
it's
don't think
nothing.
that impairs.
No,
But it's
in
like it's
general.
not. I'm not talking scientifically and just talking like, meh.
Yeah, okay.
So
There's a
someone's
difference
going to say I'm
between
advocating drinking and driving, but I'm
no,
not.
bullshit. Anyway, there's a difference between drinking and getting drunk and driving drunk. That's for sure. And that's one thing that's cool in Laos. It'll have big billboards. Oops, big billboards saying, "Do not drive drunk." Correct. Don't drive drunk. Don't drive when you're sleepy. Same thing. So let's see one side. Don't drive drunk. Next one. Don't drive if you're sleepy. Those are logical. Okay. But if you have one glass of wine or 2 glasses of wine with dinner, come on. I mean, that's not going to get you drunk. Okay. And you don't bring the bottle home and start sucking it while you're driving. No. Okay. That's bad. Okay. That's the old days. But now, new days. Okay. You drink, have a couple drinks in the restaurant, have a couple in the pubs, whatever. Just don't drive drunk. Don't drive if you're really impaired and just we can't see straight, can't walk straight. If you're really drinking too much where you cannot control, that's bad. But just having
I
a
guess
beer or
the
two,
big issue is
when are you drunk?
most people don't. Yeah, most people don't really know when they're impaired. I
Hmm.
guess that's the issue. But luckily, there's only 14 people watching, so we're not going to get too many comments.
No, we have 100 people watching now. Wow.
Uh-oh. We're going to get
Wow.
some comments.
Yeah, we might get some. That's okay. We haven't gotten any too much lately. I mean, every once in a while
Yeah,
we get some
there you go.
comments and stuff. Yeah, check them out. But please, if you're watching this, throw your comments in. Put your suggestions in. Give us your opinions. Drunk driving, yeah, I mean, pretty much logically drunk driving. But what defines being drunk? At what limit? Is it a blood alcohol content? Does that really mean you're drunk? And what blood alcohol content is relevant to impairment? Okay, I think the
Yeah.
settings for maybe Canada is like you sniff a bit of a wine and ooh, your alcohol content's too high. Well, that's also bullshit. I mean, and you have to have time. So if you have one beer an hour, you're never going to get drunk. I mean, and one shot of whiskey an hour, it's all about the same. Your digestive system processes it, your liver processes it and stuff. So again, it's a duration of time. It's not like I got 1 or 2 drinks. It's 1 or 2 drinks over a period of time, right? So anyway, drink, enjoy, be responsible, but you're going to pay taxes on it. How much you pay taxes on
Yeah.
it? That's the terrible part. And the same thing, if you buy it in a bar, you're going to pay a service tax, and you got a tip, right? So that's another one. Oh, there's a new thing here with Trump coming in saying they wanted to reduce the taxes on tips or eliminate taxes on tips or something. That's interesting. But that's for the waiters and waitresses and stuff, and whoever is associated with those. But
Who
it
probably
doesn't
weren't
affect
paying
us at
tax
all.
on that in the first
We're
place
still
anyway.
we're still tipping anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter for
Yeah.
us because we're doing the tipping. Hey, do you got a
Well,
tip
actually,
box in
yeah.
your
So
store?
that's good. I'm gonna actually reduce the amount I tip next time I go to the States. I say, "Fuck you, man! You're not paying tax on it, so you're taking home more. So I can
Yeah,
pay less. You take home the same.
yeah.
There you go. Why should
But
you be the only one who benefits from this thing? I want to benefit too, man."
there you go. So yeah, you don't pay tax. So maybe in Canada you could do the same thing and just have a big old jar in the front. Pay tips here, and I won't charge you my fee. I won't charge myself hours. I work on tips.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. We don't actually do the tip jar here because I hate that so much in a
I know.
retail store. When I go anywhere else, that I can't bring myself to do it. It's like,
I know. It was funny. We did one about the tipping 943% or something like that. It
yeah,
does get outrageous too. That's true. I mean, it is. It's too much, and that's actually hurts the businesses. And this is another issue: is it hurts businesses too much if taxes are too high, right? How do you operate if your taxes are too high? You get so much overhead and stuff. You pay taxes like crazy. So taxes reduce income. Taxes are usually exploited by the government because they take your money and what do they do with it? They take 2 years to fix your road.
you guys have roads.
A couple, some dirt stuff. Remember in Arizona, we went through some of those, chasing some horses. But yeah, so taxes are a necessary evil, but I don't. I think they're mostly just evil. How necessary, I don't know. We're still debating on that one.
That's there will never be an end to debates on it's just like with the drink driving. Where's the limit? Like
Mm,
with no taxes, you have no services. So you have no roads, you have no hospitals, you have no schools. Okay.
mm,
So we should probably have some of those.
yeah,
How much of those and how much you got to charge? And it's like,
yeah.
And here, like in Canada, we have just like I think states the same, right? Where your fuel tax is what pays for your
Mm,
roads. So
supposed
as
to.
it starts to so as we get more and more electric cars coming down over the next couple of decades,
Mm,
well, how are you going to pay for the roads? We're going to have to introduce something different, a different kind of tax, a road use tax, or increase your car registration or
yeah.
something. Because if you got we can complain there's huge fucking potholes, and then they say,
Mm,
okay, we're going to raise the tax and we fix the potholes. They fuck you.
yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
again, where's the balance on that? You know?
Actually, one of the taxes I hate, and I think is totally unjustified, is property tax. And I think it's pretty much worldwide. Everybody, I mean, in Malaysia and Laos and so many countries, Canada. I don't know about Mexico. Most people own a house. You own the house. You own the house. You own the property, and you're still paying property taxes to the government on things that you physically own. And they claim, oh, it's for services and stuff. But that's actually incorrect. And the issue is it's based on the current value of your property. So if you bought it 20 years ago, the property value was, 100,000 bucks, and now all of a sudden it's 500,000. You're paying property tax on 500,000, not on the 100,000 bucks you bought it for. So you're really getting wrecked. You're
Oh no,
getting
you get
reamed.
really nice pipes now. Now you get really nice gold line pipes to your house.
Yeah,
That's
it's bullshit. They never dig that up, man. They don't give you anything. Yeah, those pipes are still 30 years old. They never replace the pipes. But what
what
I
I
think,
find interesting. Okay,
what I think, why don't they charge a service tax instead of property tax? Why don't the communities charge a service tax for police, for the fire, for public education, and then, public schools, parks, all that stuff. And then if you don't have kids going to the public school, why are you paying that? It's just like your airlines. If you're not carrying a bag, you don't pay for that. Could be the same thing. It's like I don't have kids going to school. Why would I pay for the public school tax? Let the people that get the kids go to school have to pay for that tax versus police. Okay, everybody has to pay police, and maybe some kind of roads maintenance, whatever it is for roads and certain, but it should be a service-based tax, not a property tax. People,
Well,
share your comments on that. What do you think?
I
Brilliant
think
idea.
it should
It's the
it
best
should be
idea.
one or the other. So
Yeah.
like in Mexico, for example, the
Yeah.
property tax is really low, but you do have you pay for water,
Okay.
but the
Yeah, you bought a
water is
property
also
there.
really low.
Yeah, we
It's
pay
also
water.
really low, I guess, because labor costs are still low, so it doesn't cost that much to
Mm-hmm.
run the water companies and businesses to get water to your house.
Yeah.
Where I think it's crazy if you pay property tax and then if you have to pay, oh, by the way, you pay water, you pay this, you pay other shit.
Yeah. We
That
do.
would be no good.
We do.
So
In
here we
Arizona,
have
we do that.
you
We
pay for
pay
water.
property tax. We pay water. We pay electricity, of course, gas. All that's paid for. They're all separate. Trash, trash. Pick up the trash. That's a separate bill. Why? That's why I'm saying it should be a service tax that bundles all that stuff in, and then you could take out some of the services you don't use. That would be
Well, I
good.
only have two comments come to mind for me on that. One is we get our property tax, and they show you where it's going, how much of your property tax is going for school, for this, for that, the other thing. And again, you look at it and it's like, yeah, I don't have kids in school.
Yeah.
But if you only have when people have their kids in school, the cost would have to shoot up like mad for those number of years. You only got kids in school for 12 years or whatever it is, instead of paying over a whole lifetime. So those guys had to pay $1 million fucking dollars. So we'd have a bunch of stupider people because they wouldn't go to school. Yeah, just fine.
Well, maybe they
Who
would
gives a shit?
compete with the private school. Yeah, maybe force the public school to get their shit together and have really good education systems to draw in that money, just like a private school, but it's public based.
I guess.
Yeah,
We're
I think
so far our schools are still working pretty well here.
I think
that's one thing that's actually still working. But
yeah.
the other thing, what roasts my shorts a little bit is I live in a complex. So we have our strata fees.
Yeah.
Which we pay a lot, but we get a lot for it. We get it's like living in a vineyard kind of. Okay,
no.
people, you choose to pay it, you pay it. It's okay. The one thing I don't understand, I used to live in a complex right across the street.
Yeah.
And the city garbage trucks would come in and pick up garbage on the schedule, right? Now, just right across the street, I'm living in this other complex now, and we don't use the city trash pickup. We have a private contract for picking up trash. But when I pay my property tax, it's still I'm paying for trash pickup. So I'm paying for trash twice.
Exactly.
So I figured that the only way that I get my money's worth, I got to generate twice as much trash, so that I'm getting my fucking money's worth on this now. How's that going to save the planet? It's like, I'm driving around on the weekends looking for trash to bring in just so I can fucking.
You should dump it across the street to those guys because you're paying for them anyway. Yeah, but really. Are you paying? I think their issue for property. If you don't pay your property taxes, does the government have the right to attack your ownership of your own property? That's my big worry. If it's a service fee, they can just say, oh, okay, you're not getting your services. They block you, just like, okay, you shut off your water or something like that, or shut off your electricity. That's different. That makes more sense versus having a potential lien on your property just because you're not paying property taxes. That's a big issue for me. I think that's totally wrong. I think it's totally unjust, and this is stupidity of the government, as usual. Government's like they're not intelligent anyway. But so that one it really irks me. Income tax, another one. You tend to pay income tax, but how much? For income tax, if you earn more, you pay a higher percentage of income, not just pay more tax. If you earn 100,000 versus $1 million, and it's 15%, of course you're paying a lot more if you earn $1 million. 15% of $1 million versus 15% of 100, so you're paying more. But not just that, you're paying as $1 million, well, you're paying like 35%. So it's like a lot more, and that's again unjust. To me, that's just bullshit. rich people got to
And
pay
it's
more
it's
for sure.
unjust beyond that too.
Yeah.
It's unjust beyond that, because then when you get beyond a certain level,
Mm.
then for the really rich people,
Yeah.
their proper or their income tax percentages, not just money, percentages goes down. So if you're like
No.
a hardworking the
Yeah.
lawyer or
Yeah.
doctor or something, and you make 250 grand, you're paying so much more percentage wise than the guy making 50 grand. So it's
Mm.
like, that's kind of uncool. I agree with what you're saying there. So hey,
Mm.
you pay 15%, I pay 15%.
Yeah.
You're
Should just
paying
be
five
flat.
grand, I'm paying 40 grand. There
Mm.
you go, right?
Should be whether you make a.
But why does it go that way? And if it's going to go that way, why does it go here? And then truly rich people have so many loopholes they pay nothing.
Well, that's a loophole.
So
That's different.
that's kind of like,
That's the tax code. Again, if it's straight on 15%, you just pay 15%. Then the billionaires would have to pay 15% of being a billionaire. So simple. Damn.
and income is one thing, but now there's talk in so many different countries about basically a wealth tax, right? So they're saying, what's the value of everything you own?
Mm.
And you should pay 1%, 5%, whatever the fuck they're talking about of the value of everything you have, because you're not using it, it's just sitting there. It's no good for society. So let's get some money out of you, shake you down for some money
Yeah,
to use it for
that's
roads
correct.
and hospitals or whatever.
Shake you down. That's exactly the correct term. Shake you down. The government's
Yeah.
freaking shaking us down. Those bastards, you know? No, that's terrible. That's true. And if you look at assets, for example, you own a couple of properties, but I actually don't own a couple of properties. The bank owns 80% of my property, 70% of my property. I only own like 20% of that damn thing because I still owe them 80% or whatever. So it's an asset value of the property, but
See,
my actual
that's
proportion of
one.
it is
Hang
not.
on now. That's one thing I've never thought about that before. Never
Yeah,
considered that. It's like, okay,
yeah.
I've got property tax, quite high property tax,
Mm,
and I own. Let's say I own 50% of it. We've
yeah.
paid
So you should only pay
down
50%.
half.
Let the
Just
bank
say
pay the other 50%.
so. Exactly. Why does the
Yeah,
bank not have to pay or
there you go.
shoulder some of that? Because they can take it away from me if
Exactly.
I fart too loud and miss a payment by 8 seconds or some fucking
Yeah,
thing. They can, they got those kinds of
exactly.
rights.
That's correct. That's exactly correct. Don't worry. That's
Ah,
why
but you know
there's a
what'll
lot to
happen?
it. Hmm?
If I'll bring that up to the government next time I talk to them, and I'm sure they'll say, okay, no problem, no problem. What we do is, you're right, you're so right. You only have to pay tax on 50% of the value of your
Yeah.
place, but because the bank's not going to pay, we're going to like double your tax on. So your
Yeah.
50% will still be this 100%, and there you go.
Yeah.
You feel better
Yeah, it
now,
could
Al?
be. Yeah. But the
You're only
bank's the
paying
one
on
that,
half. You feel
I
better?
mean, that's wrong. That's wrong. But yeah, it's true. I mean, it's just the corruption of the whole system. The whole system's corrupt. And they're just shaking us down. Now, all you viewers, let's hear about that. What do you think? Is government shaking us down? Shaking you down? I believe it. You know, they're not out for our interests. They're out for maintaining their government status and their power and their money and whatever. I mean, look how much waste the government does. If you want anything wasted, give it to the government, they'll waste it. How much of your tax dollars? Oh, yeah. Remember, we got the new thing in America coming in January 20th. The Department of, what is it? Department of Government and Efficiency, Dodge, coming up, led by Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. So they're going to cut the heck out of the government. Somebody out to get you? I heard the siren, but yeah, that
Yeah.
should be interesting. I'd love to see that happen. I'd love to see them whack the government about 70%. I think 30% of the government is enough to run the government. The smaller the government, cheaper it is to run, probably more efficient it will be. And the services probably won't be any worse than they are now. It's just paying
It'll
for a
be an
lot of
interesting
bloated things.
experiment to see.
I think so.
It'll
Well,
be
Elon
interesting to
did cut
see.
out 70% or 80% of the the workforce of Twitter when he turned it into X. It is running just fine. So he knows how to do some of this stuff. That's pretty good. And you have a lean machine at your store, your record store. You're operating on a lean budget.
Yeah.
There you go. You don't have that
I
much
am the
overheads.
machine.
You're exactly. You are the machine.
Yeah,
But you got a good work
it's me
environment.
and the landlord.
There you go.
Me
And
and
you're
the
fighting every
landlord.
day.
That's it, man.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's true.
It's going to be
So,
interesting times. We'll see. My lease will be up for renewal before too long.
oh yeah,
I
gonna
used to have 5 stores in the Vancouver area, and every time my lease expired, the landlords lost their fucking minds.
yeah,
So we
that's
just
true.
slowly
Yeah,
shut them down one by one because, like, no, it's a
yeah,
small business, man.
yeah,
Yeah, I know. I respect a landlord who's trying to make money by owning something. Of course, why?
yeah.
You're not doing this out of the kindness of your heart. You're trying to make
Huh?
money from owning a
Oh, of
property.
course.
I want to do the same thing.
Yeah,
But it's just,
yeah.
I
They
mean,
get
I
greedy.
say this to people all the time when they ask me about all the shutdown, how I feel about it down to the one store and everything. It's like, the rents are so high and going up so
Mm,
fast still that pretty
mm.
soon there's only going to be Walmart and Gucci. They're the only two people or companies that can afford to
Walmart,
pay rent
Gucci.
anymore.
Pretty soon,
So
Walmart
there will be
will
no
have a
more.
Gucci store, and then Gucci will be gone.
That maybe that's it because no one else can afford the rent. So it'll be far
Sure.
less interesting shopping. Just like it's far less interesting eating
Mm,
because small little interesting restaurants can't make it. I was just
yeah,
talking to a couple of guys who came in here just at the end of the day, talking about a restaurant they had opened, and just like, yeah, it's that's a tough ass business, man, and it's
yeah, yeah.
just,
True.
yeah,
I think.
when the rents go up, it's like, fuck. Ah.
Yeah. I mean, we have another store. You get online store as well as your brick and mortar in Canada. So you sell a certain percentage out of your online. We, Wise Old Bastards and Beer Hunters International, has an online store. And we haven't gotten too many customers in there yet, besides you and me. There's not a whole lot of customers, but we do have an
Hey,
online store. Just go into wiseoldbastards.store, click on it, and you'll end up in our store in Shopify. And we have some pretty cool gear in there. It's pretty nice stuff. So check it out, especially for upcoming Christmas and stuff, uh, and presents and whatever you want. We could have all kinds of shirts and hats and all kinds of stuff. I ordered a few more. They're coming in. Should be here probably next 2 days, just for a trip. We were supposed to go to Vegas as well, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
I mean,
But
even if nothing else, you guys should be ordering those beer koozies because
yeah, look at this.
they're
They
actually
are
really
cool.
good.
They're
They're
really
really
nice.
good.
Yeah. And we have stickers and logos and all kinds of stuff with it. And like I said, shirts, hats, all kinds of cups and stuff. We'll expand it a little bit. We'll still design some more stuff.
Yeah. Show
But
the world that you know what's going on and you don't take it all that seriously.
right, we don't.
That's proof.
That's proof.
That's your proof.
Yeah, we don't
How
take
can
the world
anyone
too
take you
seriously.
seriously when you're walking down the street with a beer hunter's koozie in your hand? Like, come
There
on.
you go. There you go. And
There you
and
go.
enjoy. And it hides the beer a bit. It's just and you have
Well,
your
what I find really,
yeah,
what's so weird, it's funny. Like I tell you, like I walk around the neighborhood. That's my exercise, right? That's my
yeah.
offset. So I drink a couple of tall cans of beer while I'm walking
Mm,
around, and I pretend that's enough exercise to cover it, right?
yeah.
It's not, but it's okay. And people, just human nature. When you're walking, most people just walking, right? But if
Yeah.
you're walking like this, everyone looks at what's in your hand, whether it's a Coke or a Monster or a beer,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Everyone's looking,
Yeah.
right? And but when I put it's got superpowers. When I put it in that little koozie, it only
Yeah.
covers half the can, but it
Yeah.
becomes invisible. Nobody looks. It's like it's weird. It's like it's an invisibility cloak.
Wow. But it's cool.
So
It
there you
works, and
go.
it's a really nice
Superpowers.
one. It's very high quality. Actually, the stuff on our website is quite good quality. Under what we're buying uh, for you guys all, and enjoy. Check it out. So I think this is pretty interesting about taxes and beers and beer tax, whiskey tax, and tax of life is tax. Isn't it the idea that there's death and taxes? Even when you die, I think that's another thing. After you die, you should not owe any tax. I mean, no, if you're dead, you're not going to go up and pay it. Okay, you're it. That's gone. So death and taxes. When you die, no more tax. Okay, every stupid politician out there, when you're dead, I ain't going to pay any more tax. When I'm gone, No, I ain't paying any more damn tax. Screw you guys. You can come dig me up and ask me if I have anything, or I might be blowing in the wind.
I'm just gonna say, man, I got my here. I got my tax check for you guys right here in my pocket as they cremate me. Come and get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's a good time to wrap up. And you got to get back. You finished. You closed your store. We got some closing music here.
Some medicine.
Yeah, I think it's about time you get your medicine. Yeah, good old brandy and honey.
So all you guys, now if this whatever I got progresses to the point that I die tonight because I spent an extra hour talking to you guys instead of eating my medicine, it's on you. But it was worth it for me.
Yeah,
so hey, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we enjoy it. So well, when you get back, cheers.
All right.
And have a good one. Have a nice old
sayonara, everybody.
Take some medicine. Doctor's order. Take some medicine. Get to sleep.
All right. See y'all next time.
Okay.
Ciao.
Adios.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.